Only 10 million copers in 6 years? Team Cherry really fell off. How's it going, everybody? My name is Primacon, and you know people on the internet love to complain about the lack of Silksong news. And one thing they say is Team Cherry is fucking stupid. Update us, Team Cherry, or people are gonna forget about your video game. Wow, it's been 3 years since we actually got an update on the gameplay, which was the Xbox June showcase trailer in 2022.
Impossible.
If they continue this trend of no updates and no communication, surely they're gonna fall off the face of the earth and people are eventually gonna stop talking about Silksong. Just like Primacon. But what if I was to tell you that as we approach the end of 2024, Silksong is actually approaching the peak of its popularity, a whole 6 years after its announcement. And guys, I know this is a big stretch, but maybe by end of the year we can get Primacon to 15,000 subscribers, or at least get close to it. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so. I really appreciate it. And so does this guy.
Oh my gosh, subscribe to Primacon!
So I actually had this idea because I was up on Google Trends looking up what's popular. Sometimes I do that to think of new YouTube ideas, what games to play or whatever. And I decided, you know what? Silksong videos do so well. Is it just because of the cope, or is there something else to it? So if you go to Google Trends and you search good old Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong, let's see how the game's doing. Ah, yes. Classic. It's not popular enough. Anyway, let's change the parameters to worldwide and let's change the time period to the whole timeline. And breaking it down like that, it's pretty clear to see that Silksong has been on an upwards trajectory ever since it was announced. February 2019, right here we got the very first Silksong trailer. And you'll see these little peaks right here, like there's a peak right here, there's a big peak right here. Those are the moments when something big dropped, like an Xbox trailer or the Nintendo Treehouse demo. So naturally you'll see a big spike in that moment, but that doesn't mean that the game hit the peak and came down. What you want to be observing is the general trend of the game. So this was when it was announced right here, and then in May or June we got the demo, and they were making blog posts and the game was gaining considerable traction throughout the years. And then the 2021 dip happened right here because that was the big drought. I covered it in previous videos, but 2021 was the year we got nothing, almost nothing. That's when big YouTubers like Mossbag were making videos about like, where's Silksong? And then 2022 happened and it just fucking exploded. The June 2022 trailer that really captured the attention of a wider audience. This also goes to show why Team Cherry will never shadow drop Silksong. We might be a very passionate community, but in the wild scope of gaming world, you want to reach out to as many people as possible to make them aware about their video game. A whole 3 years after their announcement of Hollow Knight Silksong is when Silksong actually hit a big boom in popularity because of the promotion by none other than Xbox. That's why these things are important, which is why when people say the next news will come from Team Cherry, so that has to mean that it'll come on their YouTube channel instead of a showcase, they're dead wrong. Next news from Team Cherry just means it'll be a trailer by them rather than someone like Lat making an update on Twitter, but it will be at a showcase because you can see right here how big of an advantage that can have for a video game. And mind you, right here, we're in the middle of the graph right now, this little spike here, but we're still halfway there. And you would think that this being the last piece of news we got from Hollow Knight Silksong regarding the game itself, that it would just have a massive fall off. But that's not what you see at all. You just see the trend going up and up and up. And you see there's a big spike again in February 2023 because right here they said Silksong will be out in the next 12 months. So people are expecting February, as February 2019 right here is when the game was announced. So people were really having high hopes for that. But again, the game didn't come out, but it still kept going up. And then this second spike right here is the delay announcement that Silksong is delayed. And you think now finally the game's gonna fall off, right? But it just kept growing. There was lack of news, there was no communication from Team Cherry. It's been like freaking 2 years now, and then this Summer Game Fest without an actual trailer. Think about this, without anything present, we hit the same peak as we did when the trailer was first announced at the Xbox showcase. That goes to show that within that 2 years time span, the Silksong community and fandom and hype has ballooned so much that we're hitting the same popularity without news that we did with news 2-3 years ago. And if you're wondering why there's two spikes, one spike was the big ESRB rating thing that happened along with the Microsoft Store page that happened in April, so people got hyped about it. But that itself is a crazy fact that a simple ESRB rating is now enough to garner that much traction on Google that a full trailer was 3 years ago. And now here we are. And I assume another big spike is coming because the Game Awards is in less than 2 weeks. People have been hyping this shit up left, right, and center. If you notice my channel, you know I like to make Silksong hype content, co-op, memes, whatever. I haven't even talked about the Game Awards yet. I have not made a single video being like, guys, will we get Silksong at the Game Awards? Because like, I'm gonna do it way closer to the Game Awards, not right now. But even then, people have been talking about it left, right, and center on the subreddit, on Discord servers, in my community, just regularly on the internet, in forums, at the Game Award nomination livestream. And I assume that we're again gonna hit a big peak right here. This goes to show that some games just really speak for themselves. It doesn't matter if they communicate to us or not. But this also goes to show that revealing Silksong at a big showcase like the Game Awards or Summer Game Fest or Xbox is very important because of the insane amount of traction it can get. Now, what does that mean? Well, it basically means that if we don't get a Silksong announcement at TGA, which is a big opportunity that I don't think they will want to miss if they're planning to release the game in February, we might be stuck waiting all the way till June so they can announce it at another Summer Game Fest or something. Or if we get lucky and they get a slot in a Nintendo Direct around the Switch 2 announcement, then we might get an earlier announcement and a release. Or the span of almost 6 years, because in February 2025, it's going to be 6 years since the Silksong announcement. The initial reveal trailer and the demo registers a mere 8 on the hype scale of 0 to 100 from how big Silksong has gotten, and I feel like the day we get a release announcement trailer, these spikes are gonna be dwarfed again. So my point of this video is basically people who think that not talking about Silksong is a bad strategy for Team Cherry, they're gonna fall off and this is really bad, Silksong is gonna fall into obscurity, no one's gonna talk about it. Trust me guys, I see this take all the time and it's just blatantly false. Let's look at something else for comparison, right? Like Among Us blew up completely, and this is what falling off looks like. Back in the COVID times of 2020, Among Us just absolutely exploded on the internet in the world, and then just as fast as it went up, it came down, and the game has been on a downward spiral ever since, finally plateauing at a 5 out of 100 when compared to its peak. Let's look at another game, Crowsworn. Crowsworn is put together with Silksong a lot because, well, they're both Metroidvanias. Developers of Crowsworn were very inspired by Team Cherry, and their marketing director, Let, they share both, they share a marketing director. But if you look at Crowsworn again, it has some spikes for when the game is announced and some trailers come out or demo comes out, but then has a pretty substantial, sustainable interest among people, very, solid. But I just find with Silksong it to be so much more interesting that we have been on a steady upward rise of hype surrounding Silksong. 6 fucking years later after the reveal, and 2.5 years since we got the last piece of news from Team Cherry or communication. Pretty wild stuff. I know, Google Trends aren't the end-all and be-all of everything, but how much people are searching for something around the internet is usually a pretty good gauge of that thing's popularity, as we saw with things like Among Us. So as much as the doomers might try to convince you that Hollow Knight Silksong is about to fall off, it really isn't. Anyway, make of this data as what you will. I just wanted to talk about it because I find this stuff very fascinating. Thank you so much for watching. It's snowing outside right now. It's actually really beautiful. I'm gonna go try to drink some coffee and enjoy the snowfall. See you all later. Primacon signing out.